Hi, welcome to another Dan's Rest Stop. In this video, I'm going to be talking about free will and choices. Now, God gave us all a free will, and Jesus used to talk about actually free will and choices through parables in the Bible. One of the parables that's rather interesting is the Great Banquet. Now, you have to realize at the time that Jesus was dealing with people like the Pharisees and scribes and Sadducees, people around him that didn't necessarily want to accept him as the Messiah. And here he was trying to invite them into his kingdom. So he would use these stories. And that one is in Luke chapter 14, verse 16 through 24. Now, rather than read all those verses, I'm going to summarize what happened. What happened was this person had decided he was going to have this banquet. The master, he was going to have this banquet. And so he had sent out all these invitations. Well, what happened was the servants were told by people that they had all these excuses as to why they couldn't attend. Well, the master was rather upset over the fact that all this food was prepared. So he told his servants, he said, go out into the streets and find the poor, the maimed, the blind, invite them. Well, the servants did what the master had asked, but they still had room. And they told the master, we still have room. So he said, well, go out into the highways and invite people so that we can fill the house. And added that none of those who were originally invited will taste of my supper. So what Jesus was talking about is here he had offered an invite to his kingdom, and people were turning him down. They weren't accepting him as the Messiah. Now, there were warnings to the Pharisees and Sadducees. And one you can see in Matthew 3, verse 9, the King James Version. What happened was the Sadducees and the Pharisees were showing up at John the Baptist's baptisms. This is how he addressed them. In verse 9 it says, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that God is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. So what John the Baptist was telling them is that just because you're descendants of Abraham does not mean that you are saved. That he was baptizing people with water, but there was one greater than him that was coming that was going to baptize with the Holy Spirit. There was another warning, and that was in Matthew chapter 8, verses 11 and 12, the King James Version. And it says, and I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So Jesus was using stories and parables and giving them warnings, saying, listen, you've been invited into the kingdom, and you have free will to either accept or reject the invitation. Now, all of you out there have the same opportunity to accept or reject the invitation, the gift of salvation. Think about it. That's all for now. Goodbye.